fear that it'll take one small gust of wind and my whole setup will blow over. Welcome back everyone. Apologise for being a little bit MIA the past few weeks. Very busy personal life, but also nothing really that interesting going on, just a bit of hacking and light schooling going on for these three. But today I'm going to use this opportunity to introduce all of you to my lovely three boys. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about them, what they've been up to, their past and their plans for the future. So let's go get the first pony in. So for the first horse, I would really be doing him a disservice if I didn't do him first, as he's been my main horse and only horse for many, many years. So first up is Smokey. Smokey goes by many names. His show name is Smokey or Smokey OV, as how he's registered in BE. He goes by many names such as Smokey Baby or Smokes, or my mum's favourite, Smokey. He is an interesting character. He's not the most straightforward horse, but I'll get into that later. I have owned Smokey since February 2015 or 16. It's been a long time. I had him for 8 or 9 years. I think it is coming up to 9. Smokey's history is very, very unknown and very patchy. If you look in his passport, it says that he was born on the side of a road in Manchester. I think it's by the side of a playing field or something. So we're not entirely sure. We think he was bred by the gypsies, and we have a good indication, thank you, we had a good indication that he was mistreated or abused by them, as it would explain a lot of his current mannerisms. And then we bought him from a dealer many years later. She'd previously sold him to a different home who had given or sold him back to her. I found the initial ad that the previous owner saw and bought him from. I don't currently have the ad that I saw for the first time of him, unfortunately, but I will show you some snippets of the ad now.
Right, this is Cassie on Smokey. Smokey's absolutely lovely. He's 5 years old. He's come from a riding school where they broke him in themselves. And they rode him and they drove him. He's obviously, because he's young, he's not quite really ready for riding school work, but he's a nice sensible boy. We've hacked him out in company. He goes up the front. He's been good in the traffic. He's just a little bit green on his schooling. You ready then, Cassie? Just trot him on. He's got nice even paces. He's not too quick off the leg. He's quite steady, he listens, he's responsive. Absolutely, you know, he's got a nice pop in him. We've just started jumping him, and he's showing a good aptitude for that as well. That's it. So when you're ready, just push him on into canter. Good. That's great, well done. Thing. That's it. So keep him nice and straight, Cass. Good, and then round to the orange one. Great, well done. That's it. Now round to the red. He's nice and steady. We're just jumping him out of trot at the moment. Letting him have a little look, taking it all in. Good, well done. Now round over the blue. That's it, nice and straight. Good, well done. That's it.
I find it quite funny in that ad, not only is his first jumps, or it's not his first jumps, but his very babyish jumps of him as, I think he was probably 4 in that video. His babyish jumps are very cute, but she describes him as a very uncomplicated character, hacks and does everything. But that is not quite the pony that we bought. He came home absolutely fine. He was always very good to ride. I will show a snippet of our first lesson together. I was not a natural talent at riding, let's say. I never clicked with it. Smokey was bought to be my last horse, pretty much. I was really ever that interested in riding. Smokey was bought to be the pony that I rode in my final years at Pony Club. But as he was a 5-year-old, we knew that he was going to take a lot of work, and he needed to see a lot of the world still. And we did a lot more than we ever anticipated. We did lots of Pony Club and things to get us established, and then we realised we had quite a passion for competing, and we have built our way up. We've done the area competitions with the Pony Club, not with much success. We've started doing riding club as well, a little bit more success with that, but I'm terrified of doing team stuff now because it has never gone right for us. Every time we compete individually, we're soaring, doing amazing. Every time I compete for a team, I let them down. So I'm scarred from doing team events, honestly. He's showering us in hay. We realised quite quickly that he moves beautifully. In our first lesson, my trainer actually said that he had FEI potential, and if anyone knows what that is, you may have seen pony trial ponies that have compete internationally. She thought that this little scrappy cob is good enough for it. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite have the brains. We both love competing, but he definitely has a limit, and you can train and train and train and train. He will get worse and worse and worse and worse. He really likes a work-life balance, this horse. He really loves his hacking, and he really loves his jumping. He will put up with the dressage, and he's been continuing to put up with dressage for all the years I've known him. Yeah, so we realised we both have a passion for eventing quite quickly. I really enjoy cross country, and he's a fab little jumper. Like I said, we put up with the dressage, and we would fly around the show jumping cross country, usually going double clear. So let's go into some details about Smokey. He is 14.2. We have the height certificate to prove it, but he's probably more like 14.2.5. He's very full up. He's also very upright to ride, which I really enjoy. He is 14 years young, and he will probably never act his age. So going back to what I said earlier about him being not the most straightforward horse, he never really hacked out by himself at the start without company. He would scream the whole way around, be very nervous, and would refuse to move forwards. We eventually worked through that. He now hacks out by himself. He can do all the gates, and he's fab. The other thing was awful for the farrier. Hated it, terrified, which we linked that back to his past. It seems to be men with vans. He will lose his mind, and he will get very frightened, so we think someone was nasty to him. And my farrier, thank you Wes, if you're probably not listening, but he has worked so hard with Smokey. He despised him to start with, but they have now got a bit of an understanding, and they put up with each other. And touch wood, the past few times he has been golden. It took 5 years maybe to get him to that point, so a big work in progress. And the other thing was, he was really tough to clip as well. He really didn't like the sound of the clippers. That was a long process over many years. We did his whole body with trimmers one year, and you can imagine that took us hours of those tiny little trimmers going very slowly over his whole body. But we did it, And now he's a trained clip. He loves being clipped and he's super easy. But the one thing that he's always been, or two things he's always been really good, always amazing to catch in the field and always amazing to load and travel. He will travel in anything, and he'll travel with anyone as well. He travels in tack. He's just amazing. So future plans with Smokey, like I said, he's not going anywhere. We love him too much, and I think no one else could love this pony as much as we do. I have had so much fun over the years with him. He's developed my riding more, like an exponential amount. I couldn't get a pony on the bit or working an outline before. He taught me that. Even if he was fighting me the whole way, he taught me how to ride. We've gone up the levels. He's taught me how much I love eventing, and he's just been the horse that really just developed a passion for it, really. Like I said before, when I was younger, I didn't really care about horses or training or, you know, understanding what it takes to produce a horse. And since having him from a 5-year-old, or right, yeah, from a 5-year-old all the way up to 14-year-old, it takes a lot of hard work, and he's been really worth it. But yeah, he's not going anywhere. He is mostly my mum's horse these days, as I have got 2 others to focus on. Mum has been hacking him mostly. If you see my other vlog, we went competing the other day and that went really well. For next year, I have a viewer who's currently watching, who is currently away travelling but is itching to get home to have a ride with him next year. So I cannot wait. Emily, we are waiting for you to come home, and your ride is being kept in tip-top condition for you, ready for you to hop on next year. I think that might be it. What else have I got to say about you, Smoke? I go into some fun facts. He has got a double swirl on his forehead. 1, 2. Which some studies show that horses with double swirls have the most talent. And I will say that he is an amazing show jumper. And he was probably let down by me because I am a wuss. I don't really have a passion for climbing heights, let's say. He's definitely ultra talented, and I probably do let him down, but as I think everyone agree, a happy horse is the most important, instead of getting their potential. Another fun fact is that we actually had a horse psychic come out a few years ago, and she believed that she reinforced our idea that he was mistreated in the past. She'd spoken to him. I think I'm a skeptic, but this was weird. She'd spoken to him and he told her that he was hidden in one of those big storage container things from his family who bred him, and there was a little boy who he absolutely loved, and he was taken away from him, and he's never gotten over it. But they said they hid him in this storage container and used to beat him with a hollow pole like that. What's weird is that he has scars in the shape of a circle, like white hairs like this, and some of them are a bit broken on the other side. Here they are. Oops, sorry boy. And there's another one there. It's easier to tell when he's got a shorter coat. I remember her saying that to me and my jaw dropped. It was really spooky. It was a very sad experience. Me and Mum were in tears the whole time. And like I said, I'm a skeptic, but it felt real. More fun facts. We have done a lot of different disciplines. We've obviously done dressage, show jumping, cross country, eventing. We've obviously all done that, and pony club and riding club. We've also hunted. We've also gone team chasing, which he loved. We only did novice, I think it is. I don't know a lot about team chasing, but I think the novice is 2'3", 2'6", max 2'9" ish. Jumped a hedge. He was a with all of his quirks, we've worked through it, and now he is gold dust to us now. The fact that I can get on him, I can go and jump an 80-90 centimetre round and he'll fly it. Even when I get him on a rubbish stride, he will pop it and he will be up looking for the next fence. And then he can get, my mum can get on him, taking up hacking at the hill and be completely safe. He is worth so much to us, even if he is a bit of a knob sometimes. So yeah, I think that's it. But that is my boy Smokey, my heart horse. It can only get easier from here. That one's done. That's going to be the hardest, most in-depth story because I know him the best. But the next pony holds, oh, I'm ruining it. The next pony holds a very special place in my heart, as he is the first pony that I have ever owned, bought with my own money. My name's on their passport. Oh, you can't even see him. And it's my booby. So this is Beau, also known as Hollycross Black Beauty, also known as Bobby, Beau Bear, and my little Bobby. Oh, Beau, we're gonna have to adjust this. You are too small. So this is Beau. He is a 14-1 section. I'm not entirely sure, as you can tell. Section, I would say section A, B cross Gypsy Cob. I've seen pictures of his mum and I've seen pictures of his dad, and that's what I predict. We bought him, his full history is known. Yay! We bought him, he was just had turned 1, and I bought him from a lovely lady in Hertfordshire who I actually still keep in contact with, as she very almost didn't sell him to me as she loved him so much, and I can see why. He was a mistake. A stallion next door had broken into her field with her 2 mares, and he was the result, along with one other horse. When we bought him, my mum's old mare, a perfect ideal companion, had sadly passed away. She was an old girl, and it had left us with only 2, which was causing some issues. We had Smokey and my neighbour had a horse, but when one would go out, the other would be by themselves and they would be very upset. So we knew we needed something. I was currently away at uni at this time, and so we weren't looking for something that would need ridden work. which gave us the idea of getting something that was young that I could train when I'd come back from uni. I'm hoping that's a bit of a better height because you cannot see him. Many young girls, when they're told by their mum, we need another pony. Oh, I've got a splinter. I went absolutely mad. And I was on all of the horse sites and I found this lovely boy on Pre-Loved. I've still got his advert and I saw it and I was like, it's a mini Smokey, it's perfect. To make 14.2, he's currently 14.1. I've been told that cobs take a long time to grow and they can keep growing until they're 9, which I believe because we think Smokey's grown since we bought him. The last time I measured him, he was 14.1 and I don't think he's grown. So I'm saying 14.1. He's definitely less bum high than he was definitely this time last year, maybe even the beginning of this year. He's definitely filling out more. So yeah, we bought him and gotta be May 2021. He was really difficult to introduce because Smokey, being the he is, would not accept him, thought he was a threat to his herd, was stealing him from his girlfriend, and so the whole introduction was very emotional. I got quite upset during it because Smokey was being so horrible to him and Beau was doing his, when they open their mouths like that, telling them that they're only a baby, please don't be nasty to him. Smokey didn't care, he was still nasty to him. So it took a lot of time, but he eventually was accepted into the herd and they were a very happy little trio. And that is pretty much it for many years. I was at uni focusing on my degree and he was a lawnmower and a companion up until he was just before he turned 4. He was 3 years old and 11 months and I broke him in. Obviously it's so much more difficult than that. He had a bit in his mouth over the winter. He'd had his wolf teeth removed prior to that. Then we started putting a bit in his mouth. He started to get used to that, and then gradually, step by step, we'd introduced a saddle, obviously introduced rugs and things before that. And it's just such a long process, just like, we've not experienced this, let's try this, what about rugs, what about this and that. And it's just little things you don't think of. We did, and it's being our first horse, it was very much kind of, apart from doing our own research, I use YouTube quite a lot to give me advice on how we should do it properly, but it was a bit of trial and error. And he is such a lovely horse by nature that he made it extremely easy. And over the years, we've built up such a lovely bond with him that he responded so well to any of the things that we were trying with him. Any new things, he was intrigued, he wasn't frightened, and he just made it so enjoyable. And I'll be honest, over the past few weeks, he has just grown and grown. Before we broke him in, we did do some horse agility as well. and he went to training to Sophie Seymour's. I made a vlog about picking him up, and I've been riding him, hacking him out once a week since, and he is so fun and so comfortable to ride. We had some problems getting a saddle that was fitting him. That seems to have worked out. My physio, I think, did some work with him and he's feeling a lot more comfortable. So he is doing really, really well. We seem to have his tack like pretty much nailed at the moment. So I cannot be happier with this pony. He's cantering so well. We've even done a bit of schooling recently. We took him to just a very minor group lesson with a lady that I've known for a long, long time. She was teaching some others and we brought him along just for the experience, and he did some trossing around the arena, did some trossing poles, and he was amazing. We were so pleased with him and just how he handled all of it, and we intend to keep doing some of those no proper hard schooling work, not until he turns 5. So future prospects for Beau. Unfortunately, as much as I would love to keep him, he is not a forever horse for us. He was bought as a project and he is still going to be a project. But he's not going anywhere for at least another year or 2. You know, if the perfect home came along in a year, I would consider it. But right now, he's definitely not going anywhere. Nowhere near done with him. But next year is going to be really, really exciting. In springtime, we're going to be taking his training to the next step. He is going to be learning how to jump probably and doing a little bit more schooling. He's slowly starting to build up some muscle. You can probably see he's looking so well. I'm very, very, very excited, as I think he is gonna love it. I think he's gonna be quite special actually. But ideally in the future I'd like for him to be sold to a nice little pony club home, ideally in the pony club that I used to be in, just so I know that people who know him are keeping an eye on him. I don't think there's much else to say about Beau. I will say that he is my favourite little cuddly toy. He is the cuddliest thing. You walk up to his stable door and he will be standing there just wanting to cuddle, not interested in his hay anymore if you're stood there wanting to fuss him. He is my oversized Labrador, as I call him, and if he could, he'd curl up in your lap, I think. He is just the friendliest, cuddliest boy. You can tell that no one's ever been nasty to him because he is just so unbelievably trusting. As you can see, he has a fresh clip. That was his first ever clip we did. If you saw it in the competition vlog with Smokey, you'll know how amazing he was. Not completely unfazed. It's lasting quite well actually. But I think next time, because he's still getting quite warm, we're going to do a bang clip. So all of this is going to be gone. And it's just going to be along here instead. Now we know that he's easy, we're going to do a little bit more. So yeah, clip's fine now. He travels so well. He travels in tack, ready to go on our hacks. I get him off the trailer, I bring him over to the step, and I get straight on. And he is amazing. Really good to get on from the floor and stuff like that. Oh no, you're exposing that I've only cleaned half of you. I'm so proud of him. I cannot take all the credit though, because he is just amazing by nature. This just shows that what a nice start to like a pony's life can make. Means that he is so trusting and lovable when it comes to new things. So yeah, that is my lovely Bobby. He is amazing. I love him so much. And I was just saying the other day, I am going to be heartbroken when we have to sell him one day. I will be blubbering because of how much I love him. And like I said, he really does hold a special place in my heart for being my first pony I've ever broken, and he just made it so fun. So that is Beau. Honestly, stay tuned because he is going to have such an exciting year next year. It's unfortunate that I've started this YouTube in the winter because everything's a bit boring right now, so I'm trying to find things to do. But watch the space because he is going to have a very exciting 2025. I'm not happy with this last boy because he is swallowed before I've gotten him in. So he looks a state, but I will put in videos and pictures of him looking better. You know who it is. He's featured on my channel the most so far, I think. Haven't you, cheeky? This is my lovely boy Apollo. So his show name is Apollo Star, but he's also known as Apollo or Bully Bully. Oh my god, he looks a blooming mess. I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet because you already know about him, and I don't want him getting cold. So he is 15'3". We actually did measure him recently, and he actually is 15'3". His breeding still unknown, but DNA test will be with me hopefully within the next week. I have taken some hairs from him, I have posted it off, and I should be getting a very nice email within the next week. So leave your predictions in the comments. I think I've spoken to the lady who owned him when I bought it off. She seems to think there's some sort of paint in there because of his colour. So I'm thinking thoroughbred cross something to get that colour. I don't know very much about breeding and colouring and things like that, but I would say he's very thoroughbredy. He's also the sweetest baby in the world. He's such a sweet, well-mannered horse, which I know quite a lot of thoroughbreds are very good and very gentle giants on the ground, and he very much is that. He's just got manners to die for. Unless you have a bowl of food and are a horse, he's a murderous, not murderous, that's mean, isn't it? He becomes a savage when you bring out a bowl of his food, like his dinner or his breakfast, and you either Smokey or Beau, he wants you out of the way. Go get away from my food. But we think that is due to his past. So I actually didn't go into this on this last video, but this poor boy has quite a complicated past. He was bred from a stud that fell into financial difficulty, and the lady who owned the stud and owned him did the very irresponsible thing of neglecting all of the horses that she owned. So this poor boy was found in a field up to his knees in mud, completely neglected, skinny, in horrible condition. So he was rescued along with many others by the RSPCA. It is very sad. It has, we believe, made him very possessive of food. Luckily he's not food aggressive, not with us anyway, but definitely with other horses. We think he has had to fight for his food before, which is very, very sad. He was gelded very late. He was only gelded in January of this year, so he's a little bit riggish. Thankfully we don't own any mares, so it's not a problem. So he's not got any of the nasty stallion attributes. He's quite straightforward, really. What have we been up to recently? As you know, when I got him, we noticed that he had not a lot of muscle going on at all. I hope you think that he is in better condition. God, I need to clean your tail. We think he's getting there. I think it's taking time, which obviously it's going to. But I think we're on the right path. We're doing lots of hill work, some pole work. I want to do some groundwork with him as well, got natural movements and all those things. So if you have any suggestions for that as well, feel free to DM me on Instagram or leave a comment. I've got a few ideas in mind, but obviously I'd love some opinions from other people. So we're currently in a dressage saddle, which has been very generously loaned to us from my saddle fitter, as it's not worth buying something that's going to only fit him temporarily and then he changes shape and it no longer fits him. So we're only riding in a dressage saddle at the moment, so I'm hacking out in dressage saddle. I'm doing everything in a dressage saddle, which is sad because he's definitely getting sick of schooling, bless his heart, and I really want to jump him because I jumped him in his viewing and he gave such a nice feeling. but soon, hopefully, we will get a saddle, a GP saddle or a general purpose saddle that will, sorry, kind of intruder. Hopefully we will get a GP saddle that will allow us to do a little bit more fun stuff. So yeah, this boy settled in really well. We absolutely love having him around. He's been so good. We've got a bit of a system in place where we don't shut him in the stable at night. He has access to a stable and the yard, as we think he box walks a little bit overnight. He doesn't quite like being shut in, but that's fine. It makes it easier to muck out, because otherwise it's just becomes a mess. And it's no problem. We've got a nice enclosed safe yard that he can wander around, and it suits him, suits us, so we're quite happy with the system that's going right now. Future prospect for this boy, didn't buy him to be a project or anything. I bought him to hopefully event. Smokey, I love you, but you're not a natural born eventer. No, that boy is definitely more of a show jumper, and I'm looking for something that's going to take me up the levels a bit more. So hopefully this lovely boy will do that for me. He's only done some bit of XC schooling, but what he did too was really impressed me, and he's just got such a great attitude to his work, and he moves beautifully, and he's so eye-catching with his colour. Thank you to the comment telling me he's not done, he's buckskin. I thought you could use those interchangeably, but there's a difference apparently, and he is buckskin, not done. Thank you for informing me of that. I've learned something new. But yeah, his lovely buckskin colour makes him really stand out. So hopefully we'll get some good dressage marks and some double clears. But yeah, he's such a lovely boy, and I really can't wait for what the future holds. I'm itching to get to spring and start jumping all the boys, but especially him and Beau. So again, stick around, as there's going to be very exciting things happening on this channel in spring 2025. I don't think there's any fun facts, are there? He's giving me a very happy look. I put his frog back on because I'm concerned about him getting cold, as it's chilly today. But I was coming to give you a fun fact about Apollo and show you some of his favourite foods, which he's very excited to see. He really loves, fun fact, he really loves blueberry and banana treats and garlic lick. As you can see, he is desperate for me to give him some. Hold on, let me get the lid off. He had this for fireworks or bonfire night the other day, and it was honestly the key to keeping him calm. Even when he was alert, he was he was staring, because he couldn't see the fireworks, we could hear them, so he was staring out, alert and frightened, but still licking his leg. So yeah, I couldn't be happier with this boy at the moment. He's been really, really lovely, and I'm so glad I made the jump of investing in him just before winter, which is probably not the best time to buy something like this, but it's given us some time to muscle up and prepare for our busy summer. So I think that's enough of that, Apollo. I think that is pretty much it for all three of them. I'm so lucky to have three such nice ponies, especially they're just so lovely to be around. Every single one of them just will quite happily stand in the yard and have a cuddle. I'm so excited about next year and what it brings. It's gonna be full of a lot of fun stuff, so please stay tuned. But I also have been considering doing something fun for Vlogmas 2024, and maybe doing some fun little challenges. The cogs have been turning in my head about potential video ideas and challenges that we can do for Vlogmas, including all three of my lovely boys. If you have any suggestions of things you'd like to see, please leave a comment or message me. But it will be entertaining and exciting, and I will be surprised if I don't get injured during the process. That's a hint for you. But I think that is it for the Meet the Horses. I hope that wasn't too boring and too blah blah blah. But yeah, thank you again for watching. Please subscribe to see more of me and these gorgeous 3 horses. Mostly for them. They 3 are great. I'm just here to show them off pretty much. But yeah, Apollo, you're a bit close. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you in my next vlog of whatever I decide to make. Bye!